Disney+, Apple TV+, Peacock, Max, Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, to name just a few of the streaming services that have been released over the last decade. Each of which have great shows and films, but due to the fact that there are so many streaming services, it can feel overwhelming and disappointing, realising that to watch the show you want, you'll have to sign up to another streaming service. Disney Plus has all the Star Wars and MCU shows, Amazon Prime has the world's most expensive show, Rings of Power, Apple TV Plus have Ted Lasso, and Max have House of the Dragon and The Last of Us. All of these shows are great, but to be able to watch all of them, it must cost a lot of money, right? Well, in this video, I break down the cost of each streaming service, the pros and cons, and how much it costs to have all of these services at their highest and lowest plans. First off, let's look at the cheapest tiers for the 7 main streaming sites. Disney Plus costs $7.99 a month, which in my opinion is a really good price. As mentioned before, Disney comes with all the MCU and Star Wars shows and films, as well as all the Disney and Pixar classics, and National Geographic. Essentially, it's a perfect subscription to have for families with children. Next up, we have Amazon Prime Video. You can buy Prime Video by itself for $8.99, but many people already have Amazon Prime membership, and Prime Video comes free with Prime membership at $14.99. Prime Video offers a good range of shows such as The Boys, Rings of Power, Clarkson's Farm, SpongeBob, Peppa Pig, and Invincible, and a pretty good film catalogue too, with recent films like Top Gun Maverick and a third Creed film, as well as older titles such as Wolf of Wall Street, Men in Black, and Shawshank Redemption. On to Netflix, and the cheapest tier with adverts and no downloads costs $6.99. Probably the most famous streaming service, Netflix came out in 2007. Netflix has a huge variety of properties and has delivered some of the biggest shows of the last 10 years, with the likes of Stranger Things, The Crown, BoJack Horseman, and Squid Game. Netflix also spends billions every year on original films, such as The Irishman, Marriage Story, and All Quiet on the Western Front. So 3 streaming services down, and the current monthly total comes to just under $24. We will come to the most expensive plans of these streaming services in about 3 minutes time. And now on to Apple TV Plus, costing $6.99. Apple TV Plus is much different from its competitors, with a smaller collection of shows and films, taking more of a quality over quantity approach. With shows such as Ted Lasso, Severance, See, and The Morning Show, Apple TV Plus has a very American-focused, bespoke variety of shows. And on a movie front, Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, coming out later this year, is an example of the occasional big original movie that Apple TV Plus produce. Next is Max, which used to be called HBO Max. At $9.99 for the cheapest ad tier plan, Max's basic plan is the most expensive, just 1 cent below $10. Now HBO for many is synonymous for quality original programming, which usually cleans house at most of the award ceremonies, like the Emmys. And that's probably what Max offers more than any other site, a guarantee for excellent original content. And with such a decorated track record of Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Succession, True Detectives, Euphoria, and House of the Dragon, Max is the place to go for great drama. The penultimate service we have is Paramount Plus, with the lowest ad tier costing $5.99 a month. What used to be CBS All Access is now incorporated into Paramount Plus, so as well as Paramount movies such as the Mission Impossible franchise, Transformers, and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, you get the Star Trek shows and Yellow Jacket. There are also some NFL and Champions League football games, but these are few and far between. Perhaps not seen as one of the top tier streaming services, Paramount Plus has a pretty good range of blockbuster films with good shows and sports thrown in. And finally, we have Peacock, with the cheapest ad plan rather oddly called Peacock Premium for $5.99 a month. Peacock boasts a surprisingly large amount of Premier League football games, WWE content, sci-fi shows, and Bravo TV, with all those trashy shows like Real Housewives. plus NBC shows like Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Peacock offers an okay range of movies, but it's certainly no match for the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix. So if we add up the price of all 7 streaming services, they come to a total of just under $53 per month, with an average monthly cost of $7.56. The yearly cost is $635 if you pay monthly, or $591 if you pay for the full year. So if you don't mind adverts and not being able to download movies and watch them offline, then I think the cost is surprisingly good. Having all the 7 big streaming sites gives you every film, drama, documentary and series that you could ever want. And it's worth bearing in mind that most of the films released at the cinema nowadays come out 2, sometimes even 1 month later on one of these sites. So by saving money from not going to the cinema, you can strongly argue that having all these streaming services is very good value for money. Before going into the cost of all the most expensive plans, as a note to the next studio planning to release a new streaming service, please don't put plus in the name. We already have Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus, and Peacock's highest tier, Peacock Premium Plus. It's definitely time to come up with a new word. I don't know, perhaps Max. Disney Max, Amazon Prime Max, Max Max. Maybe it's not as easy as it seems. But nonetheless, no more plus, please. So moving on to the Premium Plus plans. If you buy the no ad highest tier subscription, then the total comes to $121 per month, $1,462 per year. Or if you pay for the full year up front, it's $1,334. Disney Bundle Trio Premium offers Disney Plus with no ads, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and the ability to download content to watch offline, and costs $19.99. Amazon Prime membership, which includes Prime Video, costs $14.99 a month, and Netflix Premium, which offers 4K resolution and no ads, costs $19.99. Apple TV offers slightly different plans, and I've chosen the Family Apple One bundle at $22.95 a month. This bundle means that you can share Apple TV Plus with 5 people, and there are other benefits such as Apple Music and Apple Arcade. I haven't included Apple's Premier bundle as it offers no benefits in terms of their streaming service. Max's most expensive tier is called Ultimate Ad Free, and it allows you to stream on 4 devices as 4K UHD resolution and 100 downloads. Paramount Plus with Showtime at $11.99 is the most expensive plan Paramount offers, and has no ads, Showtime Originals, CBS, and a better quality picture. And finally, Peacock Premium Plus, with no ads, downloads, and your local NBC channel. So basically, for no ads, additional sports and news programs, the ability to download and watch offline, and better resolution, cost more than double the standard ad tier plans. To get the real full inclusive package, I've added Stars and YouTube TV, which when added to the most expensive plans of all 7 streaming services, the total comes to $205 a month, $2,470 a year. And this type of entertainment bundle is for the upper class types, where money is no issue, but they just want access to every TV show, film and sports game without any hassle. Before researching all these streaming services, I thought that there were so many and they become so expensive when you have more than 2. But in reality, the prices are very good value for money. Most of us will take the pick-a-mix approach, where we have say 2 or 3 streaming services at one time. My personal choice would be to have Disney Plus at the cheaper tier, which provides movies for the kids and shows for teenagers and adults, plus Amazon Prime for the more adult content such as The Boys and comedy shows. And Amazon Prime is quite handy to have anyway, besides Prime Video. Lastly, I would have Max for their quality series and Warner Bros. Movies. This would cost $33 a month and provides a pretty substantial entertainment package for all ages. And finally, as an Englishman myself, it would be pretty remiss if I didn't include the UK prices. The prices are fairly similar to the US versions, but Max and Peacock are not available in the UK. So the only way to watch these films and shows in the UK, outside of a VPN of course, is Now TV, with their cinema and entertainment package which costs $19.98, The total cost for these 6 streaming services at their lowest tier is £52.93, so quite a bit more expensive than the US options when you account for the exchange rate. However, the most expensive plans are a lot cheaper, or just don't exist compared to their US counterparts. Disney Plus and Paramount Plus have only one plan, and Amazon Prime is a lot cheaper. I've also added the BBC licence fee, which costs £159 a year, as most houses in the UK pay the licence fee, so that's £13.25 a month. So the monthly cost for the most expensive plans comes to £96.14, so it's cheaper than the US cost, but there are less benefits to having the higher priced plans. The yearly total for the cheaper plans comes to £635, and the higher priced plans come to £1,153. At the end of the day, all of these many streaming services are more confusing than they are expensive, and for what you get with huge blockbuster films and a massive catalogue of shows and series costing hundreds of millions of dollars, I think the prices of these sites are all incredibly competitive. Unfortunately for the consumer, I don't believe this golden age of streaming services will last for too much longer. With writers and actors strikes focusing heavily on a current unfair residual agreement, where the writers and actors get very little in terms of residuals for streaming service shows and films compared to cable TV, as well as the box office failures of many films over the last few years, which is in part due to people just waiting for the movie to end its theatrical run and go onto their streaming service. So I believe that change is afoot over the next few years for these streaming services. And you can guarantee that when changes occur, prices will go up. And now I'd like to know, what do you think about the price of these streaming services? Are they good value for money? And which of them is the best? If you're new here, then perhaps consider subscribing to Film Club. I review all the major films and shows on their release, as well as the occasional video essay like this one, with a focus on the financial side of films and shows. If you enjoyed this video, then consider watching the most expensive shows of all time video, which will be in the description below. Thank you for watching, and see you again.